Together we're Syd and Olivia and we talk some shit.
Oh my god, guys. Welcome to the season 1 finale of Syd and Olivia Talk Shit.
This is a big, crazy thing.
I know. We, our first season had 12 episodes. Mm-hmm. This is the last one. Yep. For now. For this season.
Hopefully for now.
Wow, how are you?
I'm good. It feels like when you graduate preschool and then your parents come to watch you sing a song about animals.
Yeah.
It feels like that. I feel so proud. Yeah. It's over.
You've been singing songs about animals all day.
I've been singing songs about the lemur and the chihuahua all day.
Absolutely. The classic song, The Lemur and the Chihuahua.
The lemur goes and the chihuahua goes How are you?
I'm really good. I am just like, wow, what a year it's been.
I know.
Just like crazy what a year it's been. And we haven't even had the podcast for a whole year.
No.
But everyone's had a year this year.
Yeah.
So that's, oh my God. This is going to be a year in review sort of situation where we're going to answer a bunch of questions you guys asked us.
Yeah, we asked a bunch of questions to you. Sorry. We asked you to ask us a bunch of questions, and we're about to answer them today. So it's going to be like a big AMA episode.
Yeah, it's a big AMA.
Ask me anything.
If you guys haven't already, check us out on our YouTube channel. Subscribe there. We're Syd and Olivia. There's a filmed version of this podcast if you're listening on Spotify.
With some fun animated and graphic bits.
Absolute.
See, I broke.
Yeah, I don't know where I am.
I'm broken.
Like, I truly don't know where I am.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We've also had a crazy couple of days.
We've had a nutsy couple of days leading up to this, and whew, okay.
So we're going to ask each other some questions, ourselves some questions that you guys asked. And then should we say who asked the questions, maybe?
Sure, if yeah, why not?
Okay, well, let's start with a really, really, one that everyone is asking.
Yeah, absolutely.
One that we've been asked for centuries and centuries upon centuries.
Right.
From Allie Crawford.
Right.
She asks, if you were a vegetable, what would you be?
A sweet potato.
I would be an asparagus.
I love it.
I'd make your pee-pee smell.
She's an asparagus because she's thin and she makes your pee-pee smell.
I make your pee-pee smell like asparagus.
And I'm a sweet potato because I still can't tell if I'm better for you than a regular potato or not.
Yeah, you're better. You're better and you're sweeter.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question everyone asks every day. Mm-hmm. Should I tell my parents that I'm in a throuple if one of my partners is feeling left out of my family?
Oh.
That's a really interesting question because I think it really depends on how your parents might take that.
Yeah, I would say, like, if the reason that you're not telling your parents is because you know that it's going to be worse for everyone because your parents are going to respond poorly, then maybe explain that to your partner.
I would say don't tell them if it's going to make the whole situation worse and make your whole relationship more stressful with that specific partner because now your parents are being all weird about it. But if they're super into that, if they're like, hell fucking yeah, we love that, then absolutely, yeah, go ahead, whatever.
And I feel like if your partner is, like, concerned that they don't feel like they're enough of your life, maybe there are other ways to incorporate them into your life. Maybe you guys can do a big throuple photo shoot.
Yeah, I love that.
And line your walls with photos of your big throuple for you.
Line your walls with throuple photos. So that's my answer.
You can go ahead and send those throuple photos to us as well.
That's true.
Okay, are you ready? Mm-hmm. From X-Lady-Die-X.
Mm-hmm.
In a perfect world, are you happy? That's a hard question.
Well, okay, so hopefully.
Well, here's the other thing. In a perfect world, does that mean if the world was perfect, would you be happy? Yeah, probably. If everything was perfect.
Yeah, definitely. / like if best case scenario, it could also mean that.
Right.
Would I be happy? Yeah, I would hope that even in like a shitty world, I'd try to be happy sometimes a lot because otherwise there's only sadness.
Yeah, I would say I feel overwhelmed a lot.
Yes.
But not sad. Like overwhelmed. Like
my emotions are overwhelmed or mean to myself or overwhelmed and mean to myself. And then I'll be happy as well sometimes, which is good.
I echo that.
Yeah, all right. Well, I love that. Okay, how about this? The Lung Whisperer has asked us...
the Lung Whisperer?
Yeah, the Lung Whisperer.
Like they whisper to lungs?
They whisper into your lungs.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Lung Whisperer has asked us...
Whisper into my lungs.
Would you whisper into my lungs? No, they asked, have y'all ever been gaslit? Which is a way different question.
Oh, Lung Whisperer.
Lung Whisperer, yes, of course I have been gaslit.
Everyone has been,
I truly feel like everyone has been gaslit. It's a new term, but that doesn't mean it's a new thing.
No, I think most people have experienced it.
Olivia,
do. You want to give us a brief definition on gaslighting?
A brief definition on gaslighting is somebody manipulating you in a way to make you question your own reality by either doing something and then saying, I never did that, or making up that you did something, or just basically falsifying events to try to convince you that those events happened or didn't happen to make you think, I can't trust myself. And that's bad.
Here's an example, okay? Yeah. Carrie and Max are dating. One day, Max comes home from a long day of playing ball with his dog, Rex.
Yeah. And this is a very G-rated example of gaslighting already.
Well, I want this to be safe for all audiences.
All right, I love that.
What's his name? Max? Carrie?
The dog's Rex. That's all I remember.
Okay, so the guy, what the fuck ever his name, Tremp. Let's call him Tremp because I forgot his name. Tremp comes home and says to Carrie, "Hey, did you enjoy the dinner I bought you? I sent it to you earlier." And Carrie says, "Oh, I didn't see any dinner sent to you." And it's been proven now that he never sent dinner, but he lied and it's like, "No, I sent Postmates to you. I sent dinner. You're crazy.
You just didn't pick it up.
You just didn't eat it fast enough."
Another example would be if I went and I took my hand and tried to reach inside your mouth to find like gems.
And I was like,
"Why did you do that?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, I didn't. You're crazy."
And I would say, "You just put your hand in my mouth."
You know what? They all say this about you. Everyone says that
Everyone says
that you're always accusing people falsely of putting their hand in the mouth. So that's gaslighting.
Yeah, that was a really and scene.
Those were two niche examples of gaslighting.
Yeah. I can't believe I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah, I mean,
poor guy.
What if I said no, you didn't?
That would be gaslighting. That would be gaslighting. Okay, guys. Here's a gorgeous question. Okay, from the only real Julia. That's not true, Julia.
First off, Julia,
I hate to break it to you. This is a semi-common name. It's like your name isn't like Shrampf. Your name is Julia. So there are other Julias,
but
Julia.
I guess they're fake.
But I guess they're fucking fake.
Yeah.
Okay, the only real Julia. She asks, what do you consider to be the weirdest thing you've ever done / experienced? I feel like there are many.
I feel like there's so many things.
Something that we have experienced together.
Yeah, that's true.
Is it was an experience where we thought going into it that it was going to be like a cute Instagrammable hike.
Like a cute girly moment.
Because there are all of these like goat activities.
Yeah, like it was a goat hike.
Yeah, and so like have you noticed that like on like fucking Yelp or it'll be like, ooh, goat yoga, goat hike, goat bubble bath, like all these different things you can do with goats.
Bubble bath.
Goat fucking.
Yeah.
All these things you can do with goats.
And we chose goat fucking.
But first we were going to attend the goat hike.
Yeah.
And we went on a goat hike. Essentially, we went on a hike with like 50 goats.
Yeah.
Like so many goats.
Yeah.
At like a goat farm.
Yeah, it was a goat farm.
And there was like a woman there who
running
was,
the goat farm.
Yeah, she was like the farmer.
And she named all the goats different names, but some of them had names and some of them had numbers.
Yeah, and we noticed this because she'd be like calling out to them and she'd be like, "Come here, Pepper," and then she'd be like, "Oh, 6."
Yeah,
and we were like,
huh,
that's weird.
Yeah.
And at some point we were like, I wonder, that's fucking odd. I wonder why she named some of them names and some of them numbers, but we kept walking and everything's fine. And then at some point she mentions that it's a sustainable goat farm. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh, how is that?
How is that? Like, how do you keep it sustainable? And she's like, well, instead of putting the goats on trucks and delivering them to people if they want to buy a goat, because getting on a truck for a goat is very traumatic. Yeah. I instead kill them and eat them.
And we were like, oh, shit.
That's more traumatic, I would say.
I would not like that if I was a goat. And then she goes, I had to eat 50 goats this year. And that was the part where it didn't feel like real life.
She had fridges of old goats.
And it was just her.
But then we realized that's
the
why
numbered ones.
The numbered ones are the ones she's going to eat.
Yeah, it's a really dark revelation.
And the named ones are the ones she'll keep.
Yeah, really, really messed up.
But for the longest time, the sentence, I have to eat 50 goats this year.
I have to eat 50 goats this year.
It haunted me and still to this day haunts me.
Absolutely.
And right after that, she was like, all right, lunchtime. And we all had to eat our packed lunch. And we were like, oh, fuck no. And I think that's the day I became a vegetarian.
It might have been.
I think it actually was.
Yeah,
that was it.
That's classic.
It was an absolutely horrifying time.
Yeah. Okay, here's a question. Mm-hmm. What's it like being friends and working together for so long? Has it been difficult?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we've known each other for like almost 12 years or 12 years. We went to high school together and college together.
Yeah.
We went to UCLA. Go Bruins, I guess.
Go Bruins, question mark.
I guess. I don't care.
I don't identify with any of it.
I don't identify as a Bruin. I identify as a lady.
I identify as, I tried to skip as many classes as possible while still having a high GPA.
Yeah. I absolutely don't give a fuck. But we've been working together really since college, mostly.
We knew each other in high school. We were on the same improv team, and then
very cool.
when we both went to the same college together, we were like, well, should we be a comedy duo? And we were like, yeah. So that's been like what 18 to 25 for me.
So that would be like 7 years.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, it's interesting. The way we talk about being best friends and also working together is a lot like a marriage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we see each other
Every
all
day,
the time.
Yeah.
And we're with each other always. And so it's that kind of thing of like in any marriage, you have things that you're like, we agree on this, we don't agree on this. Or like, we agree on this thing, but we want to do this different ways. Or like, it's all the normal marriage stuff.
Yeah, classic normal marriage stuff.
But it's in the same as a marriage. It's just like communicating.
Yeah, it's just being like, well, we have to keep this marriage on the up and up.
On the up and up.
So what are all the things to do to
spice it up?
To spice it up. We have to spice it up all the time.
Always.
We'll
bring in a third.
We'll bring in a third. We'll do some, some communication.
Yeah, I think
all that.
Like in any kind of relationship, I feel like you have times where you go like, does my partner not like me? Or like, am I not doing well enough? And we get that too, because we're literally people and basically in a romantic relationship without any of the sex stuff.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to be like, are we okay? Like, do you not like me right now? Because I felt like maybe when
this morning there was a pause.
There was a pause in our conversation. I thought you might have been thinking that I was ugly. And so we have all of those moments. It's literally exactly like marriage.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do if you have a partnership with someone that you work with and are best friends with, to just say everything that's on your mind always, and then it makes you feel less bad. Like, I'll always have the thought of like, oh my god, what if everyone's just tolerating me because they want to be near Syd?
And I have the same thought too about Olivia.
And then when I share that with you and you go, oh, I have the same thought, it at least makes me feel like, okay, this is more of a normal human thought.
100%.
So I love that. So we love having normal human thoughts.
Yeah, I also think another thing too is it's especially when you know that you're in a healthy relationship and that has been proven, right? Like, I can always know that Olivia has my best interest in mind and that I have her best interest in mind.
Yeah.
So if one of us does something that maybe the other person goes like, oh no, did they mean that in a mean way? It's like, well, they probably didn't, because they definitely have my best interest in mind, and I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
So I can go back to that and go like, okay, well, that definitely didn't mean that, so why am I overthinking that?
Yeah.
Because I overthink everything.
And the reason you're overthinking it is because you're a human being.
That's
correct. That's what we do.
That's correct.
All right, what do you got?
Wow, some real advice over here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, a perfect question from Can Marat25. Please make a feet lick video.
All right.
And moving on. Okay, from Mikey's World 05, we have, if you had to date a bird, which would you date and why is it a pigeon?
Okay, well, I guess the answer for me would be a pigeon.
Okay. And why is it a pigeon?
Because I feel like they're down to earth.
They are.
They know, like, they're everywhere.
They eat garbage.
They eat garbage like me. And I feel like they're underrated. I feel like I could really save a pigeon.
Oh, girl.
But my other impulse birds to date would be a
secretary
bird or a secretary bird.
Yeah, I was thinking secretary.
Secretary bird's a great partner.
I was thinking I would date a secretary bird because they like kick
snakes,
kick and stomp on snakes with their prey.
Yeah,
and I think like I could be down with that aggro energy.
Yeah,
like,
I would feel protected.
I'd feel protected. I could really sub it out, let them go full dom,
kicking you,
kicking
and
me and stomping on me,
to kill you.
And I'll just be like, yes, daddy, secretary bird.
Yeah, I think that's ideal.
What a horrifying thing to say.
Oh no, here's a question. At what point will life not be a pain in the ass?
Oh.
First off, I hope you're okay. Second, I don't know. But just try your best and be nice to yourself. And if you need a break, friggin' honor that and be nice to yourself and just keep going. That's the only thing I tell myself.
I think everything is in waves, you know? And so sometimes things feel really bad, but it is a wave, and there will be a time when things don't feel that bad soon.
There'll be a wave of good.
Yeah, and for me, looking forward to those times.
Yeah, and enjoying them when they happen and not creating problems that don't need to be there. Like when you have something planned that's like, oh, this is a good fun thing, or when something good happens to you, just go like, hell yeah, this doesn't happen all the time, so I'm going to enjoy the shit out of this.
Celebrating small things.
Absolutely.
Recognizing when things are good, even if they're small things.
Yep, absolutely.
There's never too small of a thing to celebrate.
Nope. Absolutely.
I think you can totally open a bottle of champagne because you're like, I showered.
Yeah.
I think
my God. Absolutely.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
I think the more you celebrate yourself, the happier you will be.
Yeah.
I don't even know I should read this one. Yuppie Upriv 6 says, do you think spanking is abuse? First of all, why'd you ask us this?
We're not parents.
First of all, A, we're not parents. B, is that the type of spanking you're talking about?
Yeah.
C, why do you need our opinion on this?
We probably have no valid opinion on this.
I'm not even allowed to give you an answer on this because who am I?
Okay, I would say in a sexual way, absolutely not, unless someone has said, I do not like to be spanked.
Yes, being consensual.
A consensual spanking is good.
A consensual spanking is welcomed.
For children, I don't think...
consensual spanking is welcomed. If a child was like, please spank me. I stole cookies from the cookie jar. Please spank me.
That you would spank me now. I don't think I would ever spank a kid, and if a kid ever said I was spanked and I call that abuse, I would say yes. I back you on that because you didn't choose to be spanked, but I don't know. I think
times have changed.
Times have changed.
Spanking feels a little outdated.
Yeah.
I think it probably isn't the most, I mean, again, I'm not a parent, so I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
But it probably isn't the most helpful way to teach someone something.
Yeah.
I wouldn't learn that much from being spanked.
No, I'd probably just learn to dislike the person delivering the spank.
I would just be like, whoa, weird.
I'd just be like, wow, I'm going to not get caught next time.
Yeah.
Instead of like talking it out and being like, oh, that's why I shouldn't have done that thing.
Really strange.
All right. Okay. Oh, this is a fun one.
Go for it.
Okay. Have you guys ever had a crush on the same person? And if so, how did that go down?
Only once.
Yeah, only once. But the good news is, that's true. Syd and I have kind of different but overlapping types, but we've only ever had a crush on one person at the same time once. And we got the crush on the same day.
And the same time.
And it was through work. Mm-hmm. And the thing that was great about it was that he was completely unattainable.
This person was fully taken.
Yeah, fully taken, fully familyed out.
And we were like,
absolutely. Like, he should be.
He should be. We respect it.
Yeah.
But on the same day, both of us were like, damn.
It was crazy.
It was the only time it's ever happened.
It was like there was like an energy, like a magnetic energy shift in the universe because that's never happened before. And it was like the energy of you and I both being like, whoa.
It's also funny because people try to double dip into us often.
All the time.
People often will like hit on either Olivia or me, and then if it doesn't work with one of us,
it's a very strict rule from us.
Go to the other one.
No double dipping.
And that's not what we do. We don't do that. We're not into it.
Yeah.
So it was interesting that the one person both of us were like down for
it was like, no,
thank you. No, thank you to either of you.
It was good, thankfully, because I don't know.
If that person was available,
I don't know what would have happened.
We would have had a war. No, it was literally just like we were like, wow.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. You don't know who you are.
You don't know who you are. None of you will ever know who that person is because I'm not telling them ever.
God, no.
I'm never telling them.
God, no.
I will literally never tell them.
Oh my God.
Okay. Oliver Finnear says, how do I tell her I like her?
Aw.
That's kind of sweet. I mean, it's followed by 2 sobbing emojis.
Okay.
But, so I don't know.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I would say be upfront.
Mm-hmm.
Don't sound desperate, but sound totally honest. Don't try to play cool guy.
Yeah, don't.
Just be like, hey, here's a thought from me.
Mm-hmm.
I like you. Is that reciprocated? If not, that's all good.
Yeah.
And then if she goes, oh, it's not reciprocated, then find someone else to like. And if she's like, yeah, that's reciprocated, then hell friggin' yeah.
Yeah, I think not pushing is a great way to do it. And just being totally honest, because listen, I can't read between the lines.
Limes.
I can't read between the limes. So if someone were to tell me something that's like kind of in code, if I like you, I'd have no idea.
Right, you'd be like taking the code verbatim.
Yeah, and so I think being upfront, being like, hey, listen, I have a massive crush on you. Is that chill or not chill?
Is that chill? Do you hate it?
Is like a good way to do that.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Abby Clatham asks, how would you feel about being in a thriller with me, a lesbian?
Being in a thriller?
Yeah.
Like a thriller movie?
I believe so. I mean, I'm in. I'm
yeah,
down.
Sure. Wait, why is it? Wait, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
The thing she's saying is, are you up for being in a movie with me because I'm a lesbian? Is she saying, like, are you okay with being in a movie with me?
How would you feel about being in a thriller with me, a lesbian? I don't know. To me,
or is she just saying, like,
I think
here's
she
another
might just
detail?
be giving a fun fact. Here's what I'd say.
Yeah, of course.
I would say if it's a filmed thriller, I'm 100% down. If it's a real life scenario that mimics a thriller, like being inside a thriller and it's not being filmed and it's not pretend, I would probably be really scared.
Yeah.
And probably not want to, and
Makes
probably
sense.
invite you to not be in it either.
Yeah.
But if it's just being in a thriller with you, a lesbian, I'm absolutely loving that.
Yeah, if your question was like, can you guys make a thriller movie with me, and just fun fact, I am a lesbian, I think the answer is absolutely.
Yeah,
for sure,
that.
why not?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is actually, I would love to hear your answer on this.
Okay.
Are delayed Disney.
Yep.
Is that it?
Sure.
Are delayed Disney. It's hard to tell because it's all, one word.
Yeah.
Our Delayed Disney asks, what would you do if you are in a project that can benefit you, but there are toxic people involved?
Ooh.
That is a really interesting question. I think there has to be a balance when it comes to anything work-related.
Yeah.
If you're doing something that's taking a huge toll on your mental health, that's something that needs to be considered.
Yeah, I do think that there's toxic people in most workplaces. There's a lot of toxic people all around. So I think it really depends on every individual's ability to handle what level and specific type of toxicity. Like if we were doing a job and it was like, oh, we're going to have a show, but there's someone who like comes in and screams at people at the top of their lungs and gaslights people, I would be like, I don't know if I can really handle that part of it, but how much do I want this show? What people is it with? I don't know.
I think that, well, first of all, if you have some sort of human resources, maybe like talking to a person who's in charge, if there's an actual personal effect from this. If it's just like this person is kind of like a lot, and they're just like shitty to be around, you get those kind of people
sometimes. You just go like, all right, well.
But if someone's making you feel unsafe at all, or making anyone around you feel unsafe,
or
I think that's
severely making your life worse.
I think that's either a conversation to be had, or maybe you just walk away.
Yeah.
I truly believe that even if something's a great opportunity, if you are suffering mentally from it, you need to walk away.
There will be another great opportunity.
There will be, and you
just keep going.
You can't let things control your life because it seems like it would be a good idea.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Favorite college story? I have one off the top of my head. Go for it. One of my favorite college stories is we were shooting a web series called Sugar Babies. And there's so many stories from this era. But the one that I have in my head is that Syd had to do a scene in her apartment where she had a client when she was a sugar baby, and she opens the door and she switched clients with me or something, and basically it's her therapist. And they both just scream at each other, and they're like, oh God, no. And Syd is screaming like, no, like so much. And he's being like, oh God, this is so wrong. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And we did it a couple of times, and they're screaming at full volume. And the actual police break in through the back door with like batons and stuff, like kick open the door and storm in. And we were all like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Because
They heard
a girl screaming, no, so loud.
Get out of my house.
And over again. Yeah, get out of my house. And the guy screaming, this is so wrong. I'm so sorry. Over and over and over again. And I guess one of the neighbors called the police and I guess texted one of Syd's roommates being like, oh my God, is everyone okay? But we didn't know that. So the police came in and they were like, hey guys, what the fuck are you doing? And we were like, oh my God, we're so sorry. See, this is the camera. We're so sorry.
Yeah.
Really glad no one got batoned.
Really wild stuff.
Yeah.
A memorable college story.
Yeah.
For me, Olivia and I obviously went to college together. We also worked at the same restaurant.
Oh my God.
In college.
So many good stories.
A lot of good stories from this restaurant. Really, really weird experience working there. We were both hostesses. And something we used to do, and it was kind of like, it was our like, kind of like, ooh, we're a little rebellious right now.
Yeah, it was a rebellious moment. It was rebelling against, certain demands that were maybe even a little bit toxic in the workplace.
And we were young, but we really hated working there because a lot of the people who worked there, some of them were very nice and some of them were like wild. And we, would get bored and tired. And so when we were working together, which they usually didn't put us together on the same days. Because
most people don't.
They knew that was probably a bad idea. But when we were working together, first of all, just imagine that. Imagine coming into a restaurant.
A fancy restaurant.
And here are your two hostesses.
And
it's us. And we're horrifying. We used to have to take the takeout orders.
Yes.
So people would call in and we would write down their orders and whatever. But at some point we were like, fuck this restaurant. And we just were taking fake calls and writing down fake orders of what we wanted. And then they would make the order for takeout, and then obviously no one would come to pick it up.
Where did they go?
Because
we tried to call them back, but they didn't pick up.
Because we made it up and put down a fake number. And then we'd go, oh man, well, I guess I'll just take this in the back, and then we'd eat it in the bathroom.
Another thing we used to do at that restaurant was we used to make fake reservations.
Oh my God.
For like people that didn't exist with like years in the future with like crazy specifics.
Yeah, it would be like, because it was a really nice restaurant, so you could put down details of what the person wanted, because we'd get celebrities and stuff.
Yeah, or people who were like allergic to a certain thing, or people who like hated a certain room.
So we'd put down like Chumbo Gladswell needs a table for 50 in the dining room.
Chumbo Gladswell needs a table for 1 in the private dining room that's only for parties of 50 and more.
He will not pay.
Will not pay.
You must serve him on black napkins. He will not pay. He must be served with a song. We'd give crazy.
Wants, like, every time orders uncooked branzino.
Yeah,
must be uncooked.
He must be served only freshest of fish.
And we'd put the reservation for like 2 years in the future, and then we'd have friends who still worked at that restaurant call us up and be like, guys,
did you make the reservation for Chumbo Gladswell? And we'd be like, yes.
Yeah.
That was Chumbo Gladswell's anniversary party.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an absolute insane experience. we also had a boss at that restaurant who we realized at some point that he wasn't very nice, especially to the women. Yeah. And we realized at some point, we were like, oh, he really just craves respect.
Oh my God.
He craves respect so deeply.
I was like, which boss are you talking about until you said that?
He craves respect so deeply, and the problem is he's so mean, and he's
never
have it.
He's such a mean little pussy. That,
and he'll never have respect.
Not for me.
So the thing we started saying to each other about this man is, the thing you crave the most you will never have.
And we started daring each other.
We started daring each other to say that to customers. And so just slip it in. So at some point, Olivia and I are standing at the hostess stand, and we get a call, and I pick up the phone and I go, hello, thank you for calling the Napa Valley Grill. This is Sydney. The thing that you crave the most you will never have. How can I help you?
And the person's like, what?
And I went, what? And she was like, they go, what did you say? And I said, welcome to the Napa Valley Grill. And she went, no, what else? I went, this is Sydney. That's gaslighting, kids.
Now, kids, that's an example of gaslighting.
That's gaslighting.
And it's bad. But sometimes when you're in college and you're bored and it doesn't really harm anyone.
They moved on. They were like,
okay, well, can I have a reservation? And you're like, absolutely. For you.
The thing you crave the most you will never have. Yeah. So if you ever want to fuck with people on the phone at your restaurant job, just answer the phone by saying, the thing you crave the most you will never have.
And slip it in.
Oh, here's one. Okay, this is a sweet question. I feel like this is a sweet episode. Mm-hmm. From It's a May. The question is, how does one find a friendship like you two have?
Aw.
That's very sweet.
I don't know. I would say, like, find someone that you think is really cool. Like, find someone that you're like, I really, really like this person, and I think they're really great, and then be together in the same room for 7 years.
Yeah. I think the thing that people seem to point out to me, at least, about our friendship the most is this, like, a joint brain we have.
Yeah.
And that, I think, just comes from time.
Yeah.
Like, spending so much time with somebody. Like, we also knew each other during very much, like, developmental years.
Absolutely.
Like, we went through high school together. We went through college together. We kind of learned what our senses of humor were
and,
around
like,
the same time.
what being alive is.
Yeah. And so, like, you know, I feel like I've learned so much from Olivia.
Yeah, same.
And, like, you know, we were together through those years.
Yeah, and we figured so much stuff out together.
Yeah.
Plus, like, we had to do so much work together, so that, like, honed our sense of humor. Plus, like, just having fun together. I don't know. I just feel like being just never leave each other's side ever.
Yeah.
Become clinically codependent and make it.
Honestly, like, having just, like, someone that you can rely on and you know they're going to be there even if you're an asshole one day. Like, there are times when I'm like, wow, I was an asshole. But it's like, I know she's going to come back because I'm fucking magnetic.
Get that on a t-shirt.
But it's like, you know, everyone has bad days.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone has days when they're not their best self.
No, my God, yeah.
And having somebody who can recognize, like, you're not going to be like this every day and come back.
Be like having patience with each other, because we're like, well, we've known each other for 7 years. Yeah. It's not like there's nothing catastrophic really ever.
You're going to have days when you're like, today I'm fucking crazy.
Oh my God. And we take turns pretty well, which I really like. Like, whenever one of us really has to collapse, the other person usually steps it up, like, by instinct. And then we take turns. And I think that's, like, one of the best things.
It is, yeah. If one of us is kind of like catastrophizing the world and being like everything is bad, the other one will be like, no, it's not.
The other one will be like, all right, let me take a step up and like help.
And then we'll have days when both of us are just like, fuck
and
everything.
Those are the days where we're like, let's not work.
Yeah. So it happens.
Oh, do I go next or? Oh yeah. Sarah Georgian says, what is your friendship really like when no one is watching?
Oh my God. Well, a lot more nonsensical.
It makes no sense, and it's less entertaining probably to an outside person.
I would say it's more disturbing.
Yeah, it's mostly just us being like, babe, it's for the fuck for me. Like,
we essentially just, and I assume that a lot of friends do this, we say gibberish at each other in stupid voices. We lay on the floor talking about nothing, and we mostly will circle the same point about 40 times. Yeah. Which the other day we were working a job and we had two hair and makeup women working with us, and we were talking just how we would normally talk. Yeah. And one of the women pointed out, she was like, it's crazy how you guys just repeat the same thing over and over and over and over again. We were like, yeah,
I guess I didn't even notice,
because like Olivia will say something that I agree with, and then I'll just say the same thing, and then she'll be like, yeah, I agree too, because she made the point first. And so she'll say it again, and I'll go, I agree with that, and I'll say the same thing again.
Or we will sing songs incorrectly. That's like another thing we'll do all day, of
so
just
fun.
Like picking a Doja Cat song and like replacing all the lyrics with words that have nothing to do with anything.
It's just fun.
It's great. It's lovely.
So it's a lot of just like nonsensical gibberish.
I love a big nonsense.
Okay. Sophie +1.
Okay.
Says, what is the last name you would ever name a child? Think Kermit, Gareth, Randy.
I mean, realistically, probably Hitler.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to get more creative than that.
Yeah.
Scorgon. Sporgon.
I think the last name I would ever name my child is Ushy Gushy.
That'd be a bad one.
I don't want to name my kid Ushy Gushy.
Or like, if I wouldn't name someone like Oily Jen.
Oh, yeah. What if Jen is oily?
I mean, we should at least give her the decency of not having to say it to her every time we reference her.
I think that's a good rule of thumb. Like, don't name your kid something that has an adjective that comes first.
Yeah. Like
bitchy Renee.
Shitty Carl.
Oh, shitty Carl. Go to your room.
I probably wouldn't name my kid Shitty Carl. Yeah. Or like, you know.
Fuckface.
Yeah. Like big pervert.
Yeah.
Big tall, short pervert.
Big short pervert.
Because then what?
What? You don't even know if it's going to be short or tall.
Yeah. Okay. How did you make the transition from comedy just for fun to doing it for a living?
Wow.
I would say the only transition really was that we just started getting paid for it.
Yeah.
You just keep doing the same thing and work at a restaurant or work at a kickboxing studio for me, or...
Yeah, essentially we've been making videos on different platforms and stuff since we were children, like since we were like 18, 19, whatever.
Yeah. And also like we did so much comedy stuff in high school too.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Like, and all that jazz.
And I think that sometimes I talk to people who are like, well, you know, like I want to do this thing, but no one's paying me to do it kind of stuff. Like, essentially we were broke. And
like one time I remember we were at Earth Cafe and I looked at my bank account and I had negative $11 in my checking account and negative $30 in my savings account and my credit card was maxed out and I just went, oh. I was like, I think I'll get the nothing.
Yeah, it was definitely like, there was a time where it's like, you know, you're working these stupid jobs. Like, I was a dog walker. I drove for Grubhub and I stole people's French fries. Like, you know, you do all the dumb jobs that you need to do just to stay alive. But the thing that keeps you going is whenever you're not doing those jobs, you go like, oh, what am I going to make?
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, we made so much shit on no money.
Oh, literally zero
Like,
money.
nothing. Like, we had no budget. We had nothing.
We filmed an entire web series without a cinematographer.
Yeah.
And you can tell.
But the whole thing is we just wanted to make it.
You still do it.
Yeah.
You just move forward and do it.
Yeah, I think making the thing is better than it being less than perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And like meeting people through, like, I remember doing like weird niche jobs in comedy that were like, oh, this is $500, which is gonna help me pay to live, but also like no one's gonna see this thing. But it's like through certain things you meet people who then later on you're like, oh wow, this actually was a really helpful, you know, I would say just don't put anything down, just do the thing you like to do, make your own stuff. Especially
making your own stuff is like the most important thing, because like having an example to show somebody it is everything.
Yeah,
and like
absolutely, people have no creativity,
and don't expect your first example to be the thing that necessarily is the thing that works. Like, we've been making stuff for years, and I know that sounds stupid because we're pretty young, but we have been working at this for like a really long time, and we're not making money until very recently. And you know, that's just kind of,
there's like 5 years of just like
nothing,
stress rashes because of financials and like having to do weird jobs, but that's like kind of what makes you better. I mean, that makes you like a person with more character, and you can be prouder of yourself instead of just being like, oh, I always had the money.
And the other thing too is, it's like, even when we first started getting paid for stuff, like when we sold Apocalypse Goals, like it wasn't enough money to not have
do
jobs.
Other things.
So it's like, I remember we would write episodes of Apocalypse Goals at the restaurant I worked at.
Yeah. And I would come to the counter.
Olivia would come to the counter, and I was like I was like a barista for like coffee, but also we did alcoholic beverages, but we didn't have an alcohol license, so we could only sell like rice wine. Yeah,
you would give me like some strange wine in like a large mug, and I loved it.
Yeah, I would just give Olivia free drinks, and and we would write our show, and then like some creepy old firefighter man would like sit next to her and be like, now you two, and let's talk, and we'd be like, no. And so it's mostly just like doing stuff and just forcing yourself to keep going.
Yeah, totally.
Friendly Neighborhood CT says, who is your dream collab? So many.
Oh my God. For the podcast or in life?
Just, I don't know. I would say in life, like, who's somebody we would want to work with?
I would do anything. I would cut off a hand to work with Charlie Day.
Yeah.
Love him. For the podcast, my dream guest is Jerry Trainer.
Oh yeah.
Love him.
Love him.
Who would be fun?
I would absolutely adore working with Eric Andre.
Oh my God, yeah, I forgot. Eric Andre and Nathan Fielder. Nathan Fielder would be like I would lose it.
If we could work with Nathan Fielder
or Eric Andre,
my life would be complete.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I would love to work with just really cool like Leslie Headland.
Oh yeah, I would love to work with Leslie Headland.
I would love to work with just like really cool badass people who have made things that feel very in their own voice.
Yeah, something about like Justin Roiland is ringing a bell for me.
Justin Roiland I would love to work with. People just who very much have their own voice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of like, oh my God,
and who get that like if you're bent and you have your own voice, like that you should do something with it.
Yeah, who made their own thing and just kind of were like, fuck it, this is our thing, which is why, like, you know, the It's Always Sunny guys are so great.
I love them.
The Broad City girls are so
They're
great.
amazing.
Like, all those people who just kind of make their own thing and go, fuck it, do you want it? If you want it, that's great. If you don't, I'm gonna make it anyway.
Yeah.
Is kind of the best fucking attitude, I think.
Absolutely.
Oh, also I would also love to work with Conan O'Brien.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Just because, like, I just
Conan needs a friend.
Conan
Why can't it be you?
Conan needs a friend. Why can't it be me?
This is the question we get asked all the time.
Okay.
What are your star signs?
Oh. Well, hi. My name is Syd. I'm a Capricorn.
I'm Olivia, and I'm a Taurus.
Yeah. And
So
you're on the cusp. You're
I am. I'm a Taurus, and I only know this because my mom loves astrology. I don't really understand it, but at the same time, hell fucking yeah.
Don't we both have a Cancer moon?
Something. I'm a Cancer moon, Scorpio rising, and my sun sign is Taurus on the cusp of Aries. So whatever that means to you, you're correct.
I believe I'm a Libra rising, but I could be totally wrong.
I think you actually are.
Kate Banezzo, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, said, what's something that you learned this year? That's a great question.
Oh my God.
So many things.
Yeah, seriously.
I would say something I learned this year, relearned this year, something I feel that I'm consistently relearning.
Yeah.
Is that I and you and pretty much everyone I surround myself with in my life, and probably you too, listener and or viewer, are a person who makes it work. Like, when things go to shit, when things are really bad, you can take time to be upset, you can be angry, but I always make it work. You always make it work. We all make it work.
Yeah.
Tim Gunn's so happy.
Yeah.
You figure it out. You're a survivor. You know, if something's shitty, it's not going to be shitty forever.
Yeah.
And it's easy to not give yourself credit for making things work.
Absolutely.
But if you look back at your lifetime, I mean, you've survived. Like, you, if nothing else, you are alive. Yeah. You have survived your whole life. Yeah. So from that, you can say, like, well, I've made it work before. Yeah. I've gotten through tough things before. And whatever's next, I'll do it again because that's what I do.
I love that. Yeah. I love that. Yeah. I think this year I've learned that not only do you have to take care of yourself, but if you don't, everything will suffer. Mm-hmm. I'm very bad at self-care. I'm very bad at being nice to myself. But like when I was in high school, I made myself stay up every night to like do film festivals and be valedictorian and all this stuff. Like I had to do so much. And then I got a thyroid disorder.
Yeah, you broke your thyroid.
I broke my thyroid. And it's like, okay, now I have that for the rest of my life, which is crazy. But like this year, I felt like, I don't know, you push yourself so hard because last year was crazy nightmare. This year is still crazy and nightmarish. And I think the thing I really had to learn is like, if I don't actually take care of myself, if I don't try to be nice to myself in some way and like have my own back, I truly am going to fail. Yeah. Because like your body shuts down, you get sick, you get messed up.
When you're stressing yourself out, your body will make it known.
And you get emotionally exhausted to the point where like nothing, you can't make anything good anymore. Yeah. So yeah. That's good. I like that. This is a way more niche question for specifically Syd. Explain the Elvis at your bat mitzvah.
Yes, I can explain the Elvis at my bat mitzvah. So I did not have a bat mitzvah theme. And then last minute, I want to say like a week or 2 weeks before, I was an asshole and I was like, I want a theme. And my mom was like, okay, fucking cool. You didn't make a theme, and so there is no theme. What are we going to do? And we were in LA. I was living in Vegas at the time, but we were in LA visiting. And we were walking around, we must have been at like the Hollywood Boulevard or something. And I was like, we'll just get a bunch of, cardboard cutouts of celebrities and put them in the bat mitzvah.
This like 12-year-old you.
This is how I impersonate 12-year-old me. And I was like, and then the theme is like a, like an event, like a star-studded red carpet event. I mean, I also made them do a fucking toilet paper fashion show. So listen,
I mean, I love that.
I had some twisted ideas.
It's great.
For my bat mitzvah. We had a cartoonist who drew cleavage on all the children.
That wasn't your idea. That was just a byproduct.
It was a bad surprise. It would give me a bad chill. But yeah, no, I got one of the cardboard cutouts I got was an Elvis cardboard cutout because I do love Elvis. He is the king.
Yeah.
And I also got, obviously Captain Jack
Spoiler. Captain Jack Spoiler.
Captain Jack Spoiler. Telling you spoilers for every movie. I got a Captain Jack Sparrow cardboard cutout because gotta love him.
I love that.
I had a bunch of fun cardboard cutouts.
That's beautiful.
And yeah, it was just a good time. What a great time. Two women crashed my bat mitzvah. Good time.
Oh yeah, 2 drunk women crashed.
Yeah, I lived in Vegas, so that was a thing that could happen.
It was in a casino though, right?
It was, yeah.
All right.
It was in a Marriott.
Marriott.
But the Marriott was a casino. Like
All
the
right.
whole downstairs was a casino. From Rao Sunkhan. Plans for 2022?
Accelerate.
Do
better. Do better, but also be nicer to myself so I can do better. Get over all my old problems. Get over all my child problems, my college problems. Get over them. Even if it's just a little bit. Yeah. Even if it's just a step. And do better.
I'm gonna get under them.
Get over them. Yeah, just try to get some momentum and do better.
Yeah, I think, a lot of this year felt like setup for next year.
It felt like healing from last year and set up for next year.
Yeah. Especially, I feel like professionally, with us, I feel there were so many parts of this year that I felt like there were so many times that I was like, ugh, I feel like I'm not doing enough. And I think the reason I felt that way is because I wasn't constantly telling the world, these are all the things I'm doing. Because, you can't.
As Queen Herbie says, you are making moves in silence.
Which
is the thing I always remember whenever I feel that way.
Yeah. And I think that there is, a big thing of, when you look online, you look at social media and stuff, and you see all the things people are doing. And you go, well, maybe I'm not doing enough. And it's like, well, no, I'm doing a bunch of stuff. My whole day is filled with stuff.
I'm exhausted.
I'm doing things. I just I'm not
they're not up yet.
They're not up yet. I don't have anything out to show anyone. Neither do you.
No,
yet.
there will be. There will be, but not yet.
And think
that's okay because in order for those things to exist, you have to do the work.
Yeah. So this year was a big year of prep. It felt, and a big year of recovering.
Yeah, recover while prepping.
So hopefully next year will just be a big fun year.
Oh, here's a question that I have a very specific answer for. Liv Rose 324 says, what do I do about being unable to get over a guy who will never like me back?
Oh.
Write a list of everything bad about him.
Yeah, actually, Olivia gave me that advice once.
That's an actual psychological trick to make yourself fall out of love with someone. Everything you can think of that is bad about them, write it down on a list, keep the list on your phone, and add to it.
Yeah, things they said to you that you let slide because you were just into them.
Yeah, things that made you feel less than great. For example, even just the fact that they are not excited about you as a person.
That's
they
not
don't
even
like
a good
you.
thing.
That's not good. Just anything about them in the world that you don't like. You can ask your friends for help as long as it's something you genuinely don't like.
Yeah, I agree. Olivia gave me this advice once, and it's a great thing to have because then whenever you're sad about them, you can go open your list and look and go, oh, I can't have somebody with all these qualities.
Yeah, write down the reasons they don't work for you.
Yeah, they do all these things that don't work for me, and maybe they'll work for someone else, but not for me.
And that is how you train your brain.
Yeah. Shamrock Casme 62 said, I think y'all playing something like Uno or Monopoly would be hilarious.
Yes.
Not a question, but I think it would be fun.
Thank you.
Philadelphia says, that's a fun username. What's your guys' favorite guilty pleasure movie? Oh, well, we have so many.
Okay, Christian Mingle is one of my favorite movies. It is a feature film length advertisement essentially for the website Christian Mingle,
starring the girl who plays Gretchen Wieners
in Mean Girls. And it is a really good hate watch.
It's shockingly good.
It has 18 different endings. It's just so convoluted.
Get your friends together.
Yeah.
Watch Christian Mingle.
And do a drinking game.
And send us photos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's going to be you're going to have such a good time.
Another great movie to watch is He's All That by Addison Rae.
The Addison Rae spinoff of She's All That, He's All That.
Absolutely.
Which is sponsored by Old Navy at some point.
It is. I have a friend in that and she fucking killed it.
Yeah.
She fucking killed it.
She did.
But yeah.
It's definitely a fun, guilty pleasure movie.
Yeah, it is. What else?
There are so many good ones.
The live action Bratz movie. You can find it. there's the whole thing has all these people hitting on this 9-year-old or 7-year-old or something. It is crazy.
The whole movie is, we watch it and we go, how? Like, how is this a thing?
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So those are all some good movies.
There's some really good stuff.
Well, here, Daniel Spectroleum says, is Olivia still 1 inch tall? Yes.
Do people think you're 1 inch tall?
When I had my wisdom teeth taken out, I said I'm a little baby boy and I'm 1 inch tall.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, and I only know that because for some reason, I don't know.
Remember that.
I remember that for some reason.
Interesting.
Gracie Del Son says, what do you do when men suck? Leave.
Go to women.
Go. Fair. Valid.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have, do you ever wake up in a cold sweat and wonder what the fuck am I doing with my life?
Constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
I think everyone does.
If you don't, I'm so stoked for you. But I think a lot of people do.
I think it's very natural to question yourself and question the things you do, but you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. You're absolutely fine.
You're fine. You're killing it. You're doing it.
Oh my gosh.
And just know that like every other person in the whole world is doing the same thing.
Exactly. Yeah. Never assume that you're alone in that.
Like Jeff Bezos probably wakes up in the middle of the night and is like, oh my God, you're not doing enough, Jeffy.
Yeah. Jeffy.
And like, and then like all of his Amazon employees are like, Jeff, it's okay. And he goes, get back to work.
Get back to work. No bathroom breaks.
Evil.
I am evil. I am a villain.
So that's probably how that goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, why don't we end with questions to each other?
Okay, yeah.
That's kind of cute, no?
Yeah, I love that.
Okay, Olivia, what is something that you are happy you got out of this podcast experience?
Oh my God. I am happy that out of this podcast experience, we got to write a creepy story.
Yeah.
I love when we write creepy stories, and I love that we got to share that we do that.
Oh my God, it's our favorite thing to do.
It is so fun.
Yeah.
I love that. How about you? What did you love out of this?
Honestly, I love being paid to hang out with my favorite person.
Thank you. I do love that as well.
What an absolute gift and joy.
That's absolutely lovely.
There are so many times that things feel overwhelming and I get kind of down on myself and I'm like, oh my God, like I don't know how I'm gonna do this. But knowing that it's like, well, when you take a step back and you like look at it as a whole, the thing you are essentially doing is you're being paid to hang out with your best friend of years and years and years and be stupid together and share your inside jokes with the world.
That's true.
And there is nothing sweeter than that.
I love that. And also, like, you guys have been so incredible and so awesome and so supportive through this whole freaking thing.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
You people are the best.
Yeah.
We love you people.
We've gotten some, like, really lovely, touching feedback.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people who have been just very sweet about this. And
what's something you learned? I have one.
Oh, what's something I learned from the podcast?
Yeah, I can go first if you want.
Go for it.
I learned to be less drunk in any future drunk episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. I learned that there are some things I'm going to say that are just going to upset my dad. And even though that's going to happen, I am almost 27 years old. And so I'm going to have to just do that sometimes.
Yeah.
And
your dad is great and he loves you no matter what.
And my dad is the best. And he doesn't have to like all the things I say because I get it. I wouldn't want my kid to say half the things I say.
Right.
But
still.
I am an adult. And so sometimes I'm just going to say them.
I love that.
And I love him and he's the best.
Yeah, we love him.
But you know what? I'm so sorry. On that note.
Do you have a New Year's resolution?
Yeah, I think my New Year's resolution is I want to do things that feel celebratory more often.
I love that.
I want to celebrate little things. I want to be happy. I want to express joy.
Yeah.
All that kind of fun, yummy stuff.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your New Year's resolution?
I want to, I want to be more present, which sounds super lame, but it feeds into so many things.
Okay.
Like it feeds into like treating my body better. Mm-hmm. You can do that if you're not going on autopilot. Enjoying things, not being on my phone as much, being more present, and then like probably, hopefully, then being less exhausted because I'm actually doing just one thing at a time with my brain, which that'll never actually happen. Like, I'll always be doing at least several things, but still.
I think that's a really good goal. And I also think, too, of like when you're really present, when you're like really in it with someone and you're having a conversation with somebody, like the reason it's a good conversation is because you are fully there.
Yeah.
And I think there have been times when I'm exhausted and so I'm not really playing my part in a conversation. And then I go, well, that conversation wasn't interesting. And it's like, well, bitch, you weren't carrying your weight. So I think it is good to just be like present with others.
Yeah, we'll be present and we'll celebrate. And I love that. Yeah, so oh my God. Wow.
It has been a wild ride.
It has been a whirled rid.
A whirled rid.
And we're going to see you guys next year.
Yeah, until next time, I have been Syd.
I have been Olivia.
Thank you so much for being here with us through this very wild thing.
If you want to follow us on anything, we're at Syd and Olivia on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all that jazz.
And we'll see you guys in 2022.
Thank you guys so much.
Bye.